Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erica with Memory Box Candle Co. And I make videos all about the journey of starting a candle business. And today we are going to be discussing the topic of sole proprietor versus LLC. And I really hope to break this down in the most simplistic way for those of you that are brand new to business and the tax and legal stuff are kind of a little scary and you're not really sure what any of this stuff means. I'm here to help you out to hopefully make this a little bit more easy to understand. Now, of course, I do have to put a disclaimer that this is just my experience, my understanding of everything, and that is coming from somebody who is doing business in California. Again, my experience, this is just for educational, informational purposes only. I highly recommend that you speak to a business attorney in your area and also a certified public accountant in your area, somebody that does taxes, because they're going to have more information about maybe what is more tailored and specific to where you live that you need to do. But as far as I know, this may be some generalized information that will help you out to understand as you're getting started with your candle business. So let's get started by talking about what a sole proprietor is. So a sole proprietor, in the most basic definition, is just somebody who gets started with a business and you haven't formed any other legal entity. So you haven't registered anything, you haven't formed anything else. You are basically one with your business. So what that means is that when you do taxes, all of your income is kind of together. So if you have a regular day job and then you're selling candles on the side, let's say you make $10,000 your first year selling candles, all that income is just going to be combined under your tax ID, which is your social security number. So there's no separation there. You are a sole proprietor by default. There's no registration for it. There's nobody that you need to tell or register as a sole proprietor. You just are by default when you start your business. The one caveat to being a sole proprietor is that if you want to be able to sell your candles under something other than your legal birth name, you do have to get what's called a DBA, which stands for doing business as. So for instance, when I was a sole proprietor, I had to get a DBA for Memory Box Candle Co. So I was Erica Boucher, DBA Memory Box Candle Co. And that allowed me, as the owner of the company, as the sole proprietor, to be able to sell my candles under the name of Memory Box Candle Co. And just because you have a DBA, you don't have to put your name, like you don't have to put your full name DBA and then the name of your candle company on your labels. It just allows you to basically sell under that name without having to have your name on there. So that is the only thing, is if you are going the sole proprietor route, which I would bet most of you are going to, until you decide that this is something that you really want to stick with and kind of gets a little bit more serious maybe, then you will want to make sure that you get a DBA, which I think I went through LegalZoom. I think there's like Taylor Brands. You can go through a local business attorney. There's a bunch of different things that you can do to be able to get a DBA. But as far as I know, it's relatively inexpensive and a pretty simple process of just some paperwork. So now let's talk about what an LLC is. So an LLC stands for Limited Liability Company. So what this is it's basically a completely separate business entity. So you're taking you as the business owner and the candle company that you started, and you are separating them legally. So any debts, liabilities, anything like that is going to fall on everything that the business owns, and nothing is going to go after your personal assets. This is something that can add that layer of security, so you don't have to worry about, God forbid anything happens, anybody tries to sue you or anything like that. They can go only after what the business has and nothing of your personal assets. One thing to note about LLCs is that you do have an annual tax that you have to pay. Now, this varies from state to state. In California, it's $800, and that's also the same for me as well. So I actually formed what's called an S corporation. So I incorporated Memory Box Candle Co. back in 2001. Actually, it's almost been 3 years that we've been incorporated, and there's just some additional tax benefits that go into play when it comes to being an S Corp and stuff like that. Again, I just kind of want to go over the basics. I'm not a complete expert with all this, but when I was forming everything, I had basically chosen to incorporate because of tax purposes and also that extra layer of protection as well. So that's kind of why I went that route. But if you're just looking at the two of sole proprietorship versus LLC, the way that I look at it is if you are just getting started with your business, I don't want you to think that you have to go out and form an LLC. But if you do have, let's say, a lot of personal assets, it may be something that you may want to strongly consider to help protect that, because we never know what's going to happen, and God forbid anything does happen, but you never know. So it's just kind of one of those things where you have to weigh the risks and benefits of it. But I wanted to just kind of explain in general terms of what both of those things are, because I know that it can be really confusing. So basically the main thing is you don't have to register as a sole proprietor. You just are one. It's just under your social security number. And if you want to basically separate yourself legally from you and your business, then register or form an LLC, which is going to separate you and your business. And you may also get some additional tax benefits as well. I think you can also file taxes as an LLC, at like filing taxes in like an S corporation kind of way. I think so. I would definitely recommend that you get with a CPA and just double check all this information. But the purpose of this video was basically to just share with anybody who is really confused and has no idea. I really hope this video helped you out to just kind of understand the basic differences between the two of these that you're going to probably consider the most as you are getting started with your candle business. But with that, I am going to end today's video right here. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave it a big thumbs up, as well as subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to follow me over on Instagram at MemoryBoxCandleCo, and I will see you in my next video.